But hooked might be an understatement. This is one of those viral games.
Celebrities are jumping aboard, drawing even more eyeballs.
Ninja, there's no judgment here. Going in hot. The walls are being built, but no. Ninja's closing that gap. Here comes a boogie, and the dance song has begun. Oh, she's got some moves on her. Oh, but that's a game!
Fortnite has become a cultural phenomenon. The game is currently played by more than 250 million players around the world. And these players include some of the most famous personalities such as Drake, Marshmello, Travis Scott, and many other celebrities. Fortnite is the largest and most successful free-to-play game ever by popularity. It has the record for most annual revenue of any game in history of around $3 billion. The story of how it all started is one of my favorite stories to tell, not because of how much money it made for Epic Games or for Tim Sweeney himself, the founder of Epic Games, but because of what value it carries and what it means for the whole gaming industry. And before we go any further, I just want to let you know that Tim Sweeney is also known as the real-life James Halliday. You want to know why? Watch till the end. This is the story of how one mechanical engineer created one of the biggest gaming companies of all time. So sit back, relax, grab your popcorn and enjoy the video. Tim has always been interested in mechanical and electrical devices. He would tinker around with lawnmowers in his garden and other devices all the time. Tim started programming at the age of 11 when he first got his hands on Apple II Plus computer. He estimated that between the ages of 11 and 15, he spent over 10,000 hours teaching himself how to program, using information on bulletin boards, and completed several games during that time. In 1989, he joined Maryland University to study mechanical engineering. Yes, mechanical engineering and game development are light years apart, but Tim says that it was an interesting experience because during my studies I really didn't understand why I was learning vector calculus. But when I started to write 3D rendering code, it turned out to be the secret sauce. So mechanical engineering classes were worthwhile after all. Around this time, his father gave him an IBM personal computer. In 1991, Sweeney established a consulting business, Potomac Computer Systems, out of his parents' home to offer help with computers. But it never took off and he shelved the company 1 year later. After closing down his company, Sweeney decided to create his own video game. But at that time, there were no game engines available, so he basically had to create the whole game from scratch. This first required him to create a text editor based on Pascal language so that he could write his game on it. This led to the idea of creating a game out of his text editor itself. And ZZT was born with its own programming language, ZZT Object Oriented Programming. I know it does not look good according to current standards, but at that time it was considered pretty good. Tim did not expect much from the game, but still decided to distribute it using shareware model. To distribute the game, he used his old company name, Potomac Computer Systems, and ZZT was a turning point for Tim as he decided to switch his career towards game development. Tim renamed Potomac Computer Systems to Epic Mega Games to compete with larger studios and to make it sound like a bigger company. Following ZZT's success, Sweeney started working on his next title, Jill of the Jungle. For this, he hired a bunch of developers and met with his business partner, Mark Rain. After releasing several games such as Dare to Dream and Firefight, in 1998 Epic Mega Games released Unreal, a first-person shooter game developed with Digital Extremes. That game went on to become a series of games known as Unreal Games. After that, Epic Mega Games decided to license out the technology which was used to make the game, now known as Unreal Engine. That would allow all the game developers to create their own game without having to reinvent the wheel. This means that developers can now create any game they want without having to write the whole code for it. And it was revolutionary for the gaming industry because that allowed indie game developers to compete with larger game enterprises. The Unreal game was a huge success and was well received by the gaming community. In 1999, Epic Mega Games announced that they had moved their headquarters to a new location in Cary, North Carolina. Yes, finally a tech company outside of Silicon Valley, and would henceforth be simply known as Epic Games.
In time, the valiant defense was crushed.
In around 2006, when PC game market was struggling due to software piracy issues, Epic Games decided to create a game for Microsoft Xbox. A move which Sweeney called the start of the third major iteration of the company, Epic 3.0. This game was Gears of War, and it was a massive success for Epic. It sold over 6 million copies in its lifetime, grossing about $100 million US. At the 2011 Spike Video Game Awards, Epic announced their new game, Fortnite, but it was launched 6 years later in 2017, and we'll shortly see why. The Battle Royale version, which we know and love today, was not developed at that point because Epic was not in the games as a service market. Epic sought the help of Tencent, which in return took 40% of the company for $330 million. Quite a good purchase, Tencent. Although Tencent has taken a lot of stake in the company, still Sweeney has majority of the share, thus upper hand in the company, and more control in the creative outcome of Epic Games. Sweeney considered the partial acquisition by Tencent as the start of Epic 4.0. Fortnite began from an internal game jam at Epic Games, following the publishing of Gears of War 3 in around 2011. They wanted to combine the concept of construction game genre like Minecraft and the shooter game genre like Call of Duty to create something new. As Fortnite was released, PUBG had already become successful, selling over 5 million copies in 3 months. Seeing the success of PUBG, Fortnite created their own battle royale in just 2 months and made it free, separate from the paid version Save the World. This version quickly gained players with over 10 million players during its first 2 weeks of release. According to TechCrunch, Fortnite made around $3 billion in profit in 2018. The reason why I added Fortnite as a separate chapter in the video, or the reason why I created the video in the first place, is not because of how much money it made for Epic Games or for Tim Sweeney himself, but because of what value it carries and what it means for the gaming industry as a whole. So, first of all, Fortnite is a free-to-play game. Purchasing anything in the game doesn't make you more powerful than any other user who has not purchased anything. Secondly, Fortnite allows you to play on any platform you like. I can play on Android while my friend is playing on iOS or Mac or PC or Nintendo. It really doesn't matter. I can play with whomever I want. Thirdly, Fortnite is more than just a game. It allows other companies to connect with their customers in a more non-adversary way. We all hate it when we have to watch an ad before watching our favorite YouTube video, or we have to watch some ad in Facebook or Twitter or whichever platform we go to. But in Fortnite, it's completely different. And the fourth thing is you can have concerts in Fortnite. Fortnite has a record for the largest in-game concert ever. This means that Fortnite is connecting other entertainment industries. Currently, Apple App Store and Google Play Store charges developers around 30% fee for all the transactions they make in the game, or any other app for that matter. So for every transaction you make, Apple and Google gets 30% of all of it, and developers only remain with 70%. You might think 70% is a lot, but all the hard work and everything was done by the game developers. I mean, think of that, how much money they are making. And Epic Games only charges around 12% for their store and still remain profitable. Just imagine how much money Apple and Google is making here. Fortnite and Epic Games are trying to break store monopolies. They are fighting for us so that we can get the best game for best price. Now, there have been a lot of things happening recently with this fight. Fortnite had to split between Apple Fortnite and the rest of the Fortnite, because now Apple users can't upgrade their Fortnite to the next version, so they can't play with any other players. They have to play among themselves. So I would recommend you to watch Tim Sweeney's speech, and all the points that I've mentioned, such as how Fortnite is changing the gaming industry. He elaborates on more of these points, and he mentions more of the things that I think you should hear. So I leave the link in the description, and thank you so much for watching the video till here.